Hello, my name is Jonathan Chandler and I own and operate Fox Ridge Arms. Today we're going to give you an update on our knife making kit. We've been making and selling these for approximately 4 or 5 years now. They are not a Lego type kit. You have to make the knife, so get that up front. If you're interested in gluing a handle on somebody else's knife, this is not the kit for you. You actually have to make the knife, the handle. You have to do it. It's not magic. So we're going to go through what's in the kit. If this suits you, please go to Amazon and purchase it. No problem whatsoever. If you want a large quantity of these, you can contact me directly, and we can do volume discounts for, say, like Boy Scout troops or Royal Rangers or something like that, or school groups. Sometimes the ag departments and that kind of like these. But it comes with everything that you'll need to start making knives. Now again, this is not Legos. This is not the type of kit where the blade comes already done and sharp and all you do is glue the handle on that's already preformed and made. That's not this kind of kit. This kind of kit gives you the raw materials and you have to make the knife. Now, I have step-by-step directions. I have YouTube videos. We're going to make a new series of YouTube videos. Our first series used basically the kit and a file and a hacksaw and a cordless drill, and we made the knife using those tools. We're going to upgrade a little bit. We're going to use a few more power tools this time, and so this ought to go a lot faster and probably more reasonable expectation for your getting into knife making. You're going to have some tools. But you can make this kit with nothing more than a file and a hacksaw and a cordless drill. Alright, what can I make with this kit? These two knives are made with the identical materials provided in this kit. This knife has a gut hook and what I call a skull cracker. It's got a fancy little handle on it. This one is more of a traditional skin-in type knife. More of a butcher type knife, traditional kind of look. I have lots of plans in the kit, so you can make whatever you want, or you can take an element off of one and put it on the other. So you want this style handle and this gut hook on this. Mix and match as you like. The design elements are yours to play with. Come up with your own design. That'd be even better. All right, your box will come like this. It shows you the pictures of what's going to be in the box. It shows you an example of what you can make if you have your own deer antler. This kit does not come with a deer antler. It comes either with walnut, cherry, or oak. The wood that you're getting is hand selected by me. It is at least 25 years old. It is dead dry and will not crack or split or anything. It's already dry. You also will get on the back some little pictures of what you can make. You can make various types of knife with this kit. The limitations are only to your imagination. Okay? So we open the box. This kit that I have has a walnut blank in it. This is black walnut. So we'll get that out. It has your blade blank. This is 1095 high carbon steel. It's approximately eighth of an inch thick and about an inch tall and about 8 inches long. It comes with a brass pin stock. Comes with the instruction manual. I wrote these directions myself. It has pictures in it, lots of pictures. It gives you step-by-step directions, whether you're going to make a hidden tang knife or a full tang knife. It gives you how to harden it and how to temper it. And we're going to do all of those with this series of videos. So there's your directions. It also comes with my plans. These are my templates that I use to make knives. And so you can choose to make one of these. We named them after localities here around our county. And they're all different styles, depending on if you want a utility knife or a skinning knife or hidden tang knife. And I also include a page that has the blanks so you can draw your own design. Some people like to make their own thing, which is great. This is what this kit's for. You're welcome to use our design or make your own. Have all of those things. You're going to get several sheets of sandpaper. Box it up. You can get several sheets of sandpaper. The sandpaper is for the end, the very, very end. You don't need sandpaper at any point on this project until you have gotten it all the way basically shaped. Handle and blade is shaped with files or sanders or something other than the sandpaper. The sandpaper is for the finishing process. Generally we have, this one has 150 and 220 grit sandpaper. Those are the roughest. And then this kit has 400 and 600. Some of the kits I've made in the past, we've had 800 grit in there, 400 and 800. So it depends on when we're making these, what paper we have available to us, we put it in there. But you'll have at least 4 grits in there. And again, this is for finishing the blade and finishing the absolute finish of the wood. And this is plenty of paper to do those steps. You're going to shape and form your handle and your blade with files prior, or sanders or grinders, prior to finishing. These are the finishing pages. We give you 2 small pieces of double stick tape, but I'm going to caution you on using this. I have had some customers that had trouble getting this tape off, so I'm going to show you a trick on how you don't need the tape. And so we may discontinue putting the tape in there. The only reason I've kept it in there is because it's in the directions. I personally don't use the tape, so I'm going to teach you how to do without it, and so that saves you a step cleaning it off. But the tape will come off usually with acetone, which is fingernail polish remover, no problem. But that may be an issue on your wood, so it just depends. But you're putting the tape, you use the tape when we lay the blank on here to drill the holes. And so I'm going to show you a trick where you've got to drill the holes twice, but you don't need the tape. And then in our kit, makes our kit the Flint and Steel kit, we give you a fire striker, fire starter. This is a ferrocerium rod. This is a 5/16 by 4-inch ferrocerium rod. This is an excellent ferrocerium rod. It will start a fire lickety split if you understand how to use it. And your high carbon steel blade, you can use the back edge of it if you'll keep it square, or you can use the cutting edge of it. Some people don't like to use the cutting edge, but anyhow, we'll show you how to make the back end edge a 90-degree shoulder so it can be used to scrape your ferrocerium rod. But either side will actually do it. And then, one of the best things about my kit is I'm part of the kit. I put in every box one of these valued customer slips. It has my phone number on it. If you have problems with the kit or have a question that's not answered in the book or just want to call and talk knives, be happy to do that for you. My phone number is for your use, and I'm a resource along with the kit, so be happy to talk to you about that. We also teach classes on knife making. I teach classes on knife making through the Virginia School of Traditional Arts. You'll see this shop that we're in right now on those videos, and it's at my place of business, and we teach the knife making classes. If you're interested in that, you can check out the links on this video and we'll be happy to show you that. Alright, a question I get asked a lot, what tools do I need to make this kit? You can make this process difficult and buy lots and lots of tools, or you can be very, how do we say, inexpensive with the tools. These are the tools that you're going to basically have to have. You're going to have a series of files, some kind of files. They don't have to be these particular files, but they can be, you can go to one of the big box stores or on Amazon and just buy you a file set, and it'll come in like a little roll-up pouch, and basically that's where these came from. This one I ordered separately. It's a larger deal, but these size ones you can buy in like a little roll-up pouch for $20 or so. It's good to have new files. You can buy files at the junk store or the auctions and that kind of thing, but a lot of times once you get them there, they're not sharp. A good new sharp file will do you a lot better. Some that are different shapes. This one is a half round file. It's round on this side and flat on that side. That comes in real handy. This one is a safe edge file. It has the teeth removed from one edge or never put on there. I actually made this one, and it's a safe edge down here, and then this edge actually still has the teeth on it. So this one comes in handy if we're going to put a guard on a knife. So this is what I use that for. But this is not an expensive file. None of these are Nielsen or some of the more expensive files. You don't have to have all that. Just a decent set of sharp files. Some different sizes. You know, depends on what kind of design you're going to do. Sometimes you may need a round file, but typically flat files or half round files will work. Okay? The longer the file, the more material you'll take off at one time. The coarser the teeth, like this one has pretty coarse teeth, the more material you'll take off at one time. Okay, and you kind of need to label your files or keep them separated some kind of way, because the file that you're going to use on your wood, you really don't want to use on your metal. Once you've used it on metal, it doesn't cut wood near as good. So, you know, maybe take one or two and set them aside for the last, and use those on the wooden handle if you need a file for that. I'm going to show you some other options. So, gonna need a file. I always use a file at some point, usually around the where the handle joins the blade. That's usually a part that I have to file each time. No machine will actually get in there. So you're going to need some kind of files. Alright, so we got files. Minimum, you're going to need a hacksaw. This is a very nice hacksaw. A new blade in your hacksaw will make life a lot more easy for you. And just like a sharp file, a saw will make life a lot easier. Hacksaw, I'm going to give you an alternative to the hacksaw, but this alternative is a grinder, and a grinder speeds you up a whole lot, but you're also more likely to be too fast and be inaccurate. So a hacksaw is actually a good tool to use, particularly if you're starting out. It slows you down. You can see where you're cutting. If you're going to cut into your line, your design, you don't want to do that. You can stop easy. Alright, so a hacksaw is an excellent tool as well, and sometimes we use that still today. This is called a coping saw. If you're going to do woodwork, just little teeny woodwork like we're going to do on our handle, this saw will do that. If we're going to make a straight cut, like splitting the handle in half, the hacksaw does a good job with that. It's stiff and it's straight, and you can cut the whole width of your board. This one is actually for wood, and you can make curves with this. This is what this one's for. All right, so we got a hacksaw and a coping saw. You don't have to have the coping saw. It will just speed you up. You can actually do the whole handle with just files or just a sander, but the coping saw actually cuts off a little bit of wood for you when we do the handles, and it speeds you up a whole lot. You're going to need some kind of clamps. There's different kinds of clamps you can have. Doesn't really matter what kind of clamps you have. But you're going to need some clamps, and more than one, because when you go glue your handle on, you want, I'd say a minimum of 3 to glue the handles on. You know, like one at the end, one in the middle, one at the blade side. And so a minimum of 3 clamps. Some of these larger wood clamps, block clamps they call these, you can actually use this instead of a vise to file with and that kind of thing, and I'll show you some tricks on that. But a vise would be an excellent addition to your tool kit as well. So a clamps and a vise would be excellent additions. You're going to need something to measure with. Tape measure, bench rule, architect scale, you know, this little Charlie Brown Smoky Bear ruler, something to measure with so you can get your pins in the right place so they look even. That's basically what you're measuring. So something to measure with. Here's a round file too. I forgot to mention the round file. You're going to need some kind of a drill and bits. Preferably drill press. That makes life a lot easier. But a cordless drill like this or a corded drill, either way, just a hand drill will work. You're going to have to be a little more precise with it, and your blanks on your wood is only going to fit one direction. If you use a drill press, we can show you how to flip them over, and you can have a book matched blocks for your handle. But if you're going to use a hand drill, skip that step and only put it in the middle. We're going to show you how to do that. But you're going to need some drill bits and you're going to need a drill of some kind. Drill press preferably, but this will do. Not a problem. Some of the most very important safety gear you're going to need is safety glasses. Filing and drilling and that kind of thing is relatively safe. I'll be honest with you, relatively safe. But I always wear safety glasses. I taught shop for 21 years. That's just an easy way to protect yourself, and so I always wear safety glasses. When we get into the power tools, the grinders and the sanders and that kind of thing, a respirator is an excellent thing to have. It doesn't have to be this fancy. One of the little cloth deals will help. This one is mine, and it works well. These are probably, you know, a kind of a pain to put on every time, but this will save your lungs and save your, you know, we don't want you to breathing in grinding dust and metal fibers and that kind of thing. Even wood dust is not good to breathe. So some kind of respirator would be preferable. Again, with the power tools that we're going to show you, we're going to need hearing protection. It doesn't have to be a fancy magnet like this. It could be a magnet off your refrigerator. In fact, the other video that I showed making the knives, I stole my wife's little fish magnet off the refrigerator, and it worked just fine. All we need to do is know when our metal is non-magnetic. How do you get the metal to be non-magnetic? You got to have some kind of heat source. A propane torch like this, a gas grill, a campfire, some kind of heat source. Charcoal grill, anything that you can build a fire with and get your metal up to glowing red. It doesn't have to be over red, just got to glow red. And then that's when you test it with your magnet, and when it's non-magnetic, we're going to quench it. To do the quench, you're going to need some kind of container, preferably metal. We'd like a metal container. It doesn't have to be anything specific, just you know, a big tin can like a number 3 tin can or number 2 can, just anything metal. It could be even a little low flat pan, as long as it's metal. Get something at the Goodwill or at the junk store. And you're going to put some kind of oil in that. I use basically straight burnt motor oil. Alright, I just brought this one today. This is a Metabow HPT. I like this size. I've got several of these. You don't have to have lots of them, but I've got several of these. This particular one comes with 5 grinding discs that look like this, that are thick, and they're good for shaping your metal. They're fast though, so you got to be careful with them. It'll go the metal goes away really quickly, so got to be careful with that. Along with your grinder, you want some grinding discs, different ones. This is a cutting disc. This would kind of replace your hacksaw. Again, this is not gentle. This will go very quickly, and it kind of skips around sometimes, so you got to be braced well to operate this. Then this is called a flap disc, and it's made up of little pieces of sandpaper. These are relatively expensive. These are like, you know, dirt cheap if you buy them through the internet. If you buy quantities of them, especially like 5 or 10, you know, you're looking at 50 cents to $1 a piece on the internet. These on the internet are about $3. If you buy them at the big box store, this is probably $2 or $3. This is 10. This is about $3 or $4 too. So you've got to pay attention to what kind of grinder you have. This grinder comes has a dome on it, like a little sunken place where your nut that holds this on goes to. Some of them are perfectly flat, so when you go choosing these, that's the choice. Pay attention to that choice. Basically, you got to have the grinder, or know what kind of grinder you're going to get prior to picking out these. So this is your minimum set of tools. Like I said, a bench vise would be helpful. One other thing you will use for this project is some type of adhesive. You can use Gorilla Glue, you can use super glue. I use, for my knives, a 5-minute epoxy. Alright, what kind of knives can I make with my kit? I'm going to show you some examples. These were not made with this particular kit, but they're basically the types of knives you can make. Alright, so our blade blank is 1 inch by 1/8. This is a forged knife, and it's a little thicker, but it is a full tang knife is why I'm showing it to you. That means that it has a full handle in here, and that we're going to plan on cutting our block of wood, this direction, and putting it on there similar to this. This is the handle for this knife with the block of wood on it. And this is a full tang knife. And to be honest with you, this is the easier of the two versions that you can make with this kit. And I would suggest if this is the very first knife you make, this is what to do with it. Unless you're skilled with your tools and you're just practicing, this is the easiest of the two. Now, the second version of the knife is a hidden tang knife, and I don't have the handle for this one just yet. And again, this is a forged knife. It's a little bigger than our blank. It started out thicker. We heated this up and hit on it. That's what these spots are, is the last few hammer marks that I have to grind out. But this is the style of knife called a hidden tang knife. And this is where you could use your block of wood to do a hidden tang here, and you could either thread the end and put a nut on it, a ferrule. You could glue it in, cut it off here shorter, drill your hole in there, and pin it. You could use something other than your block of wood, like a deer antler or a leg bone from a deer or something like that, if you want to make a very unique looking knife. All of those are possibilities with this kit. I'm just showing you these knives because I have them handy, and it's just two different versions. But full tang versus hidden tang. A hidden tang knife can be done with the block of wood that is provided, and that's why I leave it whole. For a couple of reasons I leave it whole, but that's one of the reasons. If you want to make a nice wooden handled hidden tang knife, you're certainly capable of drilling the holes in here and doing the procedure in our manual and just using the wood to do that. Or more likely you're going to have a deer antler that you can use for that. If you're cheap like I am, this kit is
not crazy expensive, but it does cost money. You can cut your blank into smaller pieces and make you a couple of things. Make you a little nice neck knife. This again is a forged knife. It's a little bit wider than what we got here, but it is identical metal. These are all made out of 1095 steel, but this is going to be a little neck knife with a hidden tang handle and a pin through that handle. So you can make two of those if you wanted to, or a boot knife. This could be a boot knife. And so you've got some other opportunities. Some other things you could make with this kit. Now this isn't not a walnut handle, but this is the same exact metal. And actually I made this with the kit's metal. And these two are carving knives, two different style carving knives. And all I did when I made this was, instead of like this one, you would cut the metal, you'd cut the metal across to make this one. This one we split the metal kind of at a diagonal. So we had a fat end for our blade and a narrow tail for our tang. And like I said, I didn't use the walnut handles on these, but that's another version that you could do. If you want to go next step, you could get you a heat source, and you could do this with a propane. That was one other thing with the tools, but anyway. You could do this with a propane torch. Basically, again, split this thing long ways, and you can make you a hook knife to do spoon carving. This would carve out the centers of the spoon. Basically, you make this shape with a blunt end and grind it just like you would a normal knife, and then you heat it up and you bend it around prior to putting it in the handle, of course. Alright, so these are the types of knives you can make with this kit. You can make a full tang knife. You can make a hidden tang knife. You can make a couple of different versions of a carving knife, a sword knife. I can't say it. It's a Scandinavian carving knife. You can make a hook knife. You can cut it in half and make a couple of small knives. The design is up to you. You can do whatever comes to mind. The hidden tang knife is more lended to suit itself for either a bone or an antler type handle or horn handle. But you could certainly use your block of wood to do that. The full tang knife is designed to split your block of wood that we give you, not split it but cut it, and put the pins through the handle, holds it on. The 5-minute epoxy takes longer than 5 minutes, believe me. You're busting up my video, dog. Why are you in the video? Why are you? Do you want to make a knife? You're messing up my stuff. You're a crazy dog. I want to go outside. All right, we'll go.